Okay, arriving. I'm going to close my eyes. And let's begin by contemplating these words. And they're from a wonderful cosmologist who I really admire and respect. Brian Cox is his name. And he says, "It is so rare to be here." So let's just take that. It's so rare to be here. And let's expand that. Let's ask a very simple question, a single word. Why? Why is it rare to be here? And then if we think about for just a moment of all the evolutionary happenings and unfurlings and unfoldings that have gone on for billions of years, in order for humans to have arisen from the clay in these relative similar forms, a couple of 100,000 years ago is all. We are the last to arrive to this earthen party. And yet the conditions for our survival and our thriving, frankly, have all been put down over millions and millions of years. The earth has seen all kinds of change, from fire, gas, freezing, melting, thawing, hardness, softness, seascape, fresh water, atmosphere, oxygen, trees and plant life, fossil fuels, and so on. So all of those extraordinary events slowly evolving over time has allowed, those conditions has allowed for us to be here in this moment. And our lives are a blink in this evolutionary timeline. A blink. And this then begs the question that the Buddha asked 2,600 years ago. You have a precious human life. What will you do with your precious human life? Now, your precious human life, you right now, are here because of a great many cosmic unfurlings, all kinds of evolutionary magic. That is true. It is also true that you are here because of your ancestors. The vast majority of them you will never, ever know. Thousands of people, their stories, their lives, their struggles, their triumphs, their confusions, their praise, all of them together are in you and me. It's nothing short of a miracle. You are nothing short of a miracle. And it is said, and I believe this to be true, and frankly I believe this to also be the truth, you are never, nor shall you ever be, a mistake in the eyes of the divine. In this universal unfurling, there is space for our misdeeds, our missteps, our judgments, our acting out, our regret, our passions and creativity, our enormous capacity to love, our impeccable willingness to befriend all kinds of life forms, our innate intelligence and wisdom, our sound capacity to seek spiritual grounding so that we have a better understanding of our purpose and the meaning of having this precious human life. As I mentioned yesterday in our practice, habit energy is a little bit like burying treasure in the desert. The sands of time covering, shifting the landscape of this treasure. You and I are that treasure. And through our legacy, our ancestors have contributed to some of this burying. And so we have aspects of ourselves, unconscious aspects of ourselves, that are deep and embedded. And we could choose to stay unconscious and keep passing it along without even thinking about it. Or we can recognize that something within us, something within our spiritual wisdom has called us home to wholeness. And so we are here at a threshold to step into this unknown excavation. We don't know what we're going to unearth. Ancient Egyptians believed that to disturb burial grounds was to invite demons. And that may be true. Whatever that means to you, darkness, you might uncover darkness, but I guarantee you will also uncover light, because that's the nature of reality. It's always a little bit of both. But the point is that we stop the ancestral legacy of burying and repressing and hiding and pretending and hustling and self-protecting and lying and deceit. And instead, we slowly start letting things be. We slowly start bringing those qualities within ourselves, the stories that we've rejected, the ideas and notions, the regrets that we feel like we can't look at. We slowly bring them to the light of this day, this moment, and we befriend it with curiosity. Would you look at this? And maybe what we're looking at is gross. Ugh, yuck, ew, I have this quality, I do this. Eeks, I don't like this about me. Okay, you don't have to like everything about you to be able to start building a framework of loving everything regardless. And that's the limitlessness. Because you have been part of this evolutionary magic. Even before humans were here, all of that primordial soup coming together came together in such a way that you could be. So there's something in you that is been there since beginningless time. And some of it's gross and some of it's great, but all of it together is awe. Awesome. I like to call that also love. Love is what holds it all. And so for you to cultivate limitless loving kindness is you can look at those qualities within yourself that you don't find particularly noble. So for instance, when I'm in an avoidant state of mind, I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. I feel tight. I feel immature. There's something about my adolescent self that rises to the surface. I don't like my antagonistic side. It's really incredulous and judgmental. I'm ashamed of that. sometimes. There it is, okay. But I don't have to spin out on it. I don't have to allow it to govern and ruin my whole day. I'm not going to give it that kind of power. So instead, I say, okay, look at that. Look at that incredulousness rising up. Would you look at that? Huh. I wonder what this is all about. I wonder if I can find a voice in my past, in my ancestry that used to talk like this. And I wonder if I could just offer it a little bit of friendly recognition. I see you. I hear you. But you're not being particularly beneficial. So the wise one in me is going to step in. It's a little bit like the Buddha, when the Buddha was saying, I see you, Mara. I see you temptations, I see you judgment, I see you shame, I see you guilt, regret, whatever it is. I also see you pleasure and desire and treat. And rather than chasing that too, I just see that. I see that happening. That feeling when we're in that pleasant side of things, of this is really good and I want more. I see you wanting more. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to let you govern, because we're trying to cultivate this wiser, more neutral capacity that can hold both of these things. The aversion and the seeking, the desiring, the wanting more. And right in the middle way is that sage within us all. And it's not that we're not judging. I think people say that all the time. You know, I like this, I often refer to this space as a non-judgmental space. Spokane Sangha is so non-judgmental. That is completely untrue. We are judging each other up one side and down the other all the time. Sometimes those judgments are negative. Most of those judgments are really positive. So it's not about not judging. It's about looking at our capacity to judge and seeing what good is it. Where is it leading us? How is it guiding us to a place of neutrality and inclusivity? Because the limitless capacity of loving kindness is completely inclusive. We don't like it all the time. And that's okay. I bring forward, it's so rare to be here. And the evolution that has all come together for us to be here in a blink of an eye, to remind us that we can inflate and distort so much of who we are, and by extension who others are as well. And if we can simply pause a moment and remember that we are connected to this whole cosmos, to the breathing, living earth itself, we are yet another expression of the divine imagination. We are kin to the trees, we are kin to the seas, we are kin to the earth itself. And we are family to one another. So when we build loving kindness toward ourselves, it automatically, by extension, goes out to others. So let's take a few moments. We've been practicing for a couple of days. The thing I love about myself is. And find something. And if you can't find anything that you love about yourself, take note of that. And with the most gentle, loving presence you can, offer yourself a little bit of curiosity. Really? There's nothing there? Nothing at all? In this great cosmic unfurling, this billions-year-old evolution, there's nothing there? I fear that might be a distortion, and so it's really that we haven't really thought about it before, because for us, the things about us that are loving and kind are truly limitless. We are limited only by our imagination. One of the things I love about myself is I buy yarn. Oh, I love yarn. There's so many different kinds of yarns out there. They've made all kinds of artistic, different tied threads and colors and textures and weaves, and oh my God, I just love it all. And I don't know how to knit, so I just buy yarn. I love that about me. And I use this yarn in all kinds of other ways. But I don't knit, and I don't want to knit. I have zero interest in knitting. And the reason why I love that about me is it's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? The story is, if you like yarn, you must be a knitter. Well, I just broke that, didn't I? That's a beautiful contradiction that defines me, and that's in us all. So maybe even find a contradiction. And recognize that contradictions alive in us are sacred because they reflect the nature of reality. And that alone is worthy of loving kindness. Let's go ahead and end our practice today with a dedication of merit. And let's just breathe this in. Breathing in the loving kindness of this Sangha, supporting me, surrounding me, within me, Breathing out my loving kindness to this Sangha. My loving kindness within me, above me, below me, surrounding me. It is part of my true nature. And with courage, I use it as a light in dark spaces. Breathing in loving kindness. Breathing out an instrument of peace. Breathing in loving kindness. Breathing out, I become a condition for loving kindness. So when you are practicing loving kindness, when you become this quality, everywhere you go, you become a condition that changes the quality of the environment to loving kindness. You are that powerful, and your benevolence in this way is limitless. Bring it into practice and see the smiles on all the life you meet. Thank you, friends. Namaste.